time on the Brunswick Buzz, we have special guests on the Brunswick Buzz today. We have Elmer Glue, who's the Brunswick High School therapy dog, and Mary Kuhnhart. And we have Rue, or Arugula, Rue for short, at the junior high, and that's perfectly fine. Hi, Rue. Like you said my name. And Deb Belaire, who is from the junior high. So we have Rue and Deb and Mary and Elmer, and we're going to talk a little bit about the therapy dogs that we have here in Brunswick. We also have some others. So we have some that come in on a part-time basis, I know that, and we also have another one in one of our special education classrooms that visits occasionally, but today we're visited where we have two of our dogs. So I think, Mary, I'd like to start with you, if it's okay to, you kind of like started this, I think it's fair to say, and let's talk about like what was the impetus, and but before we do that, we should kind of say what you do in Brunswick, and then we'll jump into that. So thank you for being here.
Well, first I'll say thanks for having us. Super fun for us to get to tell our story, right, Elmer? So Elmer is just about 5, and when he was 1 is when he started coming to Brunswick High School. And he's not actually the first dog in the district. Okay. We had Tracy Carrier.
Oh, right, Greta.
How could I forget Greta came
at Harry Beecher
first.
Stowe.
Yes.
Thank you. See,
and before Greta, there was Jelly. And do you remember Jelly?
No. Oh, wow.
And
Where was Jelly?
Jelly was at HBS also. That was with Matt McGreevy.
Okay, I remember Greta. Yes. Jelly. Okay.
Those two. Jelly ended up not coming, then Greta came, and then I'm on to that because we wanted a dog. And, you know, when you're working, it's hard to have a dog to leave home a lot. So starting the conversation with you before I even got Elmer saying, I really want to get a therapy dog. And then when I would bring Elmer to football games, I would make sure to come up to you. I was buttering you up.
I love the story. That's good.
And so that's just how it came to be.
Okay.
Yeah, just knowing that he would be really helpful in the school and that I wanted a dog.
And Deb, you've been here a couple years?
This is my second year.
Second year, right. And Rue's been here?
This is his first full year.
Yep. Yeah. And have you always thought about doing this, or where's the background on that?
So when he was really little, we had somebody come to the house to train him, and they said he would make a great therapy dog because he loves people so much.
Okay.
And there was really never the opportunity. And then I heard about Elmer, and I met Elmer. I thought, oh my gosh, we need to try this.
Yeah.
And so he went through a couple of Canine Good Citizen classes, and then it was the certification for therapy was actually much easier than the classes that he took, which he didn't necessarily need.
Yes.
But just makes him better behaved.
Awesome. Well, they look how well behaved they are right now. So let's talk about the nuts and bolts, because some of the correspondence I did receive after my article about all our dogs is, what does it take, and what do we do to ensure safety for students and those things. So I'll start this. And I know that our dogs are all therapy care dogs. They're trained, and we also have our insurance carrier that provides insurance. We have it internally, and I know you all have that as well. Is there anything that you want to say, like what do you do when you bring the dog to school the first time? How have you introduced them to the students? Because that was a question that I received, was like, how did you make sure that students were comfortable around the dog? And yeah.
Well, we sent a letter out saying that this was going to be happening, with the instructions that Elmer's always on a leash when we're out and about, unless we're in my office. And we didn't get any negative responses from that. So
I haven't either.
Yeah.
I think this latest, the article got people thinking, going, oh, wow, can we have more, just to be blunt? And I went, well, I think, there's probably a number that's appropriate for us. But Deb, anything that you did when you introduced Rue to the high school, to the junior high?
He just kind of came in and stayed in our room for a bit. And then there are some kids who are fairly new to the country that were a little bit leery, but they absolutely love him now. Yeah. And he knows who they are because they give him the most treats. So they it was pretty easy. And Rue kind of knows, senses when people have no interest in her.
Really?
She'll just kind of walk away. But
Just go.
it's really hard to leave school at the end of the day because everybody wants to say hi to Rue.
I noticed that, like, going from point A to B can take a while
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yes, you got to
Yeah.
plan for it.
And I heard you both say that I heard you say that you keep them on leash, so when they are walking in the building and those kind of things. So that's also another way that we keep, they're under your control. So let's talk about some of the things you've seen, the positives that you've seen, because I know we've talked about this before, but either one of you want to share a story or an example of like what's been a positive of having the dogs around?
Well, I could say the first thing that I noticed when I started bringing Elmer was that it brought together a whole bunch of different groups of kids, right? They were all around sharing Elmer, which was really nice. It gave them this nice sort of commonality, and that's sort of one of my favorite things.
Okay. Deb, what do you?
I have had a student that was in a self-contained program that now spends quite a bit of his time in the resource room because of Rue.
Because of Rue.
Yeah, he likes to. He's gotten 2 shirts with miniature schnauzers on.
That's awesome.
He's taken some pretty incredible pictures with Rue
Oh,
too.
that's awesome. That's very cool. Mary, in your role as a school social worker, I would think that's been a real benefit,
Yeah.
particularly in a one-on-one situation or a small group and
Right.
those kind of situations. Is that-
And sometimes guidance will call me to say, "Oh, are you guys available?" And just sort of having Elmer around sometimes.
if something's happening. or-
Yes.
Yeah.
It can be helpful because the student can focus in on Elmer, patting them, that they can help distract the situation. If there's things going on, we could bring Elmer in and the focus will go on him opposed to whatever else. So, yeah, it's been great.
Deb, you were just saying before when we were talking that Rue at school is, as you like now, so calm.
Yes.
But outside's a little
At
more.
home, he paces and he scratches at the door because he wants to go play ball.
Wants to go play ball.
constantly.
Yeah,
Here, Elmer.
But he
Yeah.
knows that at school
yeah.
Elmer, stay.
he can't.
That's like work, if you
Yeah.
will, so to speak.
In the beginning, I made the mistake of putting his tennis balls in the closet in the room, and he'd go to the closet and bark. But now the balls are in the teacher's room, and he doesn't.
Oh, that's so funny.
I left one in my pocket the other day,
Yeah.
and he came over and started barking at my jacket.
Oh, my word. Wow.
I have to say, Elmer comes home from school and he's exhausted.
Really?
I
Yeah.
wish he would be.
Yeah.
He just falls asleep.
Yeah.
Takes a little nap for a couple hours.
Oh, Elmer. Do you have certain, like you've talked about this, students that gravitate towards, you said that, and we have some students that probably just don't really want to engage with the dog,
Right.
and we just let that be.
And they just sort of move away as we're
Yeah.
walking down the hall, and
Yeah.
we acknowledge that, and
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're so great, they're so well behaved right now. Look at them. Wow. Other things that we want to share about like some of the benefits or other things that we haven't talked about?
I think it's really calming for kids. The kids that just don't necessarily have a lot of positive interactions at school, like they just,
Yeah.
it gives them something to look forward to. Didn't you say that some kids come to school
Oh, yes.
specifically to see Elmer?
Yeah. I know Elmer, I mean, at the high school, those of you that are watching today, you do it during the midterms. You have multiple other dogs here. You've done that all along for several years, right? For maybe many more years than that. But 3 or 4 other dogs come, and I think that's a big hit.
That is a big
Right.
hit, right? They come into the library, and then they go into the cafeteria.
Yeah.
So lots of people get to pat them,
Yeah.
and it's exciting to see what the dog's going to look like.
Yes, right. What kind of dog's coming? Yeah. Well, I think it's. Oh, Elmer.
That's school for today,
Are you
Elmer?
done?
Yes. Well, I just want to say thank you both for doing this. I think it's great, the feedback that I've received from staff, students, and even community members after my article of how positive it's been. Hey, thank you for listening to the Brunswick Buzz. The Brunswick Buzz is available wherever you find your podcast.